Kemba Walker.
Mm.
Just, I'm not gonna rant because this is about you. So, do tell. Just Kemba Walker. Go ahead.
Kemba
right
Walker,
ahead.
one of the greatest Charlotte athletes of all time due to longevity, loyalty to the city. I was upset, but it was time to move on. We moved on at the right time. LaMelo's that guy, and LaMelo will be better than Kemba already, just because he's 6'8".
Yeah.
If you look back in like some stuff, I mentioned that Kemba had knee issues. And people are like, they're not. I'm like, no.
Oh, yes.
But when you go in the off season to get surgery on your knees for the past 2 or 3 off seasons, whatever, that's going to creep up. Your knees don't get better as you get older; they get worse. And so, like, I knew the day was coming, but I'm always rooting for the guy, man. He put his heart and soul into the Charlotte organization and franchise. I was glad that he made the Eastern Conference Finals with Boston 2 years ago. Didn't like the way they treated him with injuries, and rooting for him to do well in New York is different being back home. But
yeah,
I'm a Charlotte fan first, man.
Hey, I will say this: let's just go back to when the Hornets did not get Zion Williamson, or just that lottery, like that lottery happened.
Yeah, that lottery. Yeah.
Could you have foreseen like this, like current right now rookie of the year, like, well, not that maybe, but like that excitement, so quick, and getting to see it on the court too. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not like a lie or potential, but actually seeing it on the court.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I wasn't on a Mitch Kupchak train.
I admit as well.
Look, man, it's like, I'm like, it's something to do it in Los Angeles where you have all the resources available to you. But Charlotte's a different place. But one thing I did like was Michael Jordan trusted him enough to do him. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to just roll with it. The Miles Bridges pick. Honestly, I wanted Shea. Shea would have been the better choice, but I understood why he made the deal. Yes. Because you look at it, he got Miles Bridges and Devontae Graham in that deal.
And look how,
and it's progressing. And that PJ Washington draft, I wasn't up on PJ like that. He made the right choice for that area. And then LaMelo, like, Vince was on the LaMelo train.
Yes.
Funny story. In February 2020, on our Under Construction podcast, we happened to mention, crazy thing. We were like, we were talking about the draft because we realized we were going to the lottery, of course. And so we was like, man, that LaMelo ball is pretty good. Like,
yes.
Like, looking at his eye, basketball to me is simple: dribble, pass, shoot. If you can do all 3 of those, and you got the work ethic, you can put something together with your tools. And so, like, he could do all those at a high level. And I was looking at his IQ, and I'm like, look, man, if LaMelo is, if you kind of draft LaMelo, I know you got 2 point guards, but you ain't in a position where you can draft on need. You draft the best talent available. I mean, we were right. I mean, I like Anthony Edwards as well. I was clamoring for him. But man, I'm just happy that next year the fan base gets to come to see LaMelo and the new Hornets and support, man. Because me and you are old enough to remember the old days when,
oh my gosh,
Muggsy and Larry, everybody jam-packed down the Coliseum. Like, I want to see that. I want to see that again. And the city's growing, a lot of transplants, but there's still Hornets fans here. And Michael and Mitch have to give them something to be excited about.
That excitement is, man.
I'm telling you, by next year, they're gonna be one piece away. They're gonna get that piece, and I'm telling you, it's.
Are we gonna? Look, oh my gosh, are we gonna start sounding like how other fan bases sound like whenever they're a piece away and they start expecting the playoffs.
Man, let me say something.
Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna?
Let me say something. Man, look, we're doing it now. Like, if you look about 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
If you look at about 5-6 years ago, you ain't never heard this many Hornets fans talking. I mean,
it was
like LaMelo provides like a hope. LaMelo's like a hope.
Yes.
And like he's a solid building block for the future. He's young. He's 20 years old, 6'8". The dude already got more social media followers than the Hornets organization. And so like,
and he already grew up there as well. He, the ball for all intents and purposes, all that prepared him.
He grew up in guys.
He grew up, so it's not as if he's. That's great. I mean, what?
He's not an unknown. He's not an unknown commodity. Like
that's it. Yes.
We've heard about him since his dad was talking about his big brother. And this has been like 6-7 years now. And like we watched all the videos of him in high school, the skinny kid playing, and like I never imagined he grew to be 6'8".
Me neither.
Like it's interesting, and I'm just interested to see what they do with his brother. I want to see if he's good enough to make the team this summer. I'm skeptical because if you were good enough, somebody would have put you on the roster. But
at least a two-way somewhere, like a two-way. Yeah.
But I mean, now might be his time. People blossom and people have different seasons. This might be his season.
And also, you never know, that comfort level could rise for LaMelo as well. You never know what we already know how the game go. So you never know what kind of opportunities will come in from that. And
right.
Just to be able to say, there's going to be some TNT games. And not the ones where you're playing at like 7:00 on a Tuesday. No. Like the real ones.
8-9 o'clock in that 9 o'clock slot. Hey man, look. We always had a joke. We always had to run the joke. We knew the Hornets would get one TV game, and it's gonna be against the Magic or the Cavaliers.
NBA TV.
It's gonna be the last game of the season when nothing is on the line, nothing's important. But man, like LaMelo is like I tell you, people want to see him. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like a Zion in a way, where he kind of elevated New Orleans stop. But I think we got a better front office than New Orleans. But maybe I wouldn't be shocked if we have at least 10-15 television games this year. Off top.
I take it,
man.
And the excitement level of the play.
Right.
And you know what? I'm so glad. I do miss the post game. I ain't even gonna lie. I miss defense and those things, but I'm glad it opened up for a team like the Charlotte Hornets to be able to run and gun, have multiple point guards, move around. We had Cody Zeller at center and still doing what we needed to do. So I say,
hey man, look out for that draft pick. Book night, man. He's gonna be pretty good.
Oh yes.
He's gonna be pretty good, and then in a few years, you may not see it now, but Kai Jones, the other first round pick, he's a 6'11" guy who just started playing basketball at 15, organized basketball at 15. He was a track star. He's a freak athlete. He can get up there. He's gonna catch so many lives, man. But when he finally gets a hold of that game and they progress him along the right way, he can be a borderline all-star, man.
Oh my goodness! Now, are you as excited as the Panthers as the Hornets? Because it kind of feels like the organizations
are kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's like they're getting, Cam left, Kemba left, that star left. You're trying to bring somebody back in. You got, Mac. Oh my God.
Sam Darnold.
No, the running back, Christian McCaffrey. Jesus Christ, my gosh.
Man, he didn't play all last year. You can forget his name. Christian McCaffrey.
It get like that. So, will the day be we can have the Hornets and Panthers up there still cracking at the same time? Can we get it cracking at the same time?
I want to say yes, but man, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't believe in the quarterback situation.
It's almost like the point guard situation.
Yeah,
it's like what kind of tempo are you trying to play? And I feel like we're going like we're playing it safe. Like
It's
playing safe.
We got the tools on offense.
Yes.
We got the tools. I'm not sure about the left tackle position, the offensive line in total. But man, we got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, Christian McCaffrey. We got the skills players, but the thing is, can you honestly say you trust Sam Darnold? I mean, we're really going to see if it was the Jets organization or if Sam Darnold was that bad. Because if Sam Darnold could play at least average, I can see this team probably winning 9-10 games. 9 or 10 maybe. I mean, I'm not worried about the defense. They're young and they're getting better. Yes. And it showed last year they were getting better throughout the year. But that offense, man, it's all upon that quarterback. And I want to see how Matt Rule gets better in coaching situations. It's his second year in the league. I mean, the dude got a 7-year deal. So
yeah,
you got to figure it out.
He definitely has the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's what kind of like you say with the offensive line. Offensive line's always big because if the offensive line is not going to protect, I'm not looking at Sam Darnold to go out there and make magic, and nor would I expect him to.
Right.
So, but I was just saying, we can have Charlotte, both of those teams at the same time.
Let me tell you something, man. If both of them are popping like that, man, you can't tell us nothing, man. I'm telling you. Like, if you go back to that Super Bowl year, the Hornets were actually pretty good that year.
Yes.
And the city was buzzing. People was going to some of the games, man. And it was an excellent feeling, man. We just need to get that back. Like, both teams are young enough and have good young pieces to progress. Yes. But in football, I mean, the Panthers' problem is, man, they play in the division with Tom Brady and the champions.
Whew. I know how lucky was that? Like literally, like come on, really? Yeah, you gonna bring all that down here? You see what we trying to do here? We flop all the time. It was our time. It's our time, and here you come with consistency.
Tom come and ruin the party.
I ain't gonna lie. It looked good though.
It did. Like. I wouldn't be shocked if they won it all again, to be real with you.
I like going for it. You know, I do like the turnover. I do like the fresh faces and young teams. But every once in a while, I do like going for it for like 2 years and just saying, you know what? Hey,
put the chips
on. Hey,
I mean, like I tell people, you can't rebuild forever. You got to have a plan to like, hey man, at what point do we put it
Hornets? The Hornets the same way. It was like chugga. Okay, Larry Brown. Okay, not that. Okay, and then up Steve Clifford after that, and then it's like, all right, what are we doing? We're drafting the same things. Are we going to do this? How much would you have paid to get? All right. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is on the table. What are the Panthers? What could the Panthers have? What would you have liked to see? Like seriously, would you have liked to see him do it?
Look, man, I don't know if he would want to be here. Like
that's true. That's true.
And like you gotta have those conversations with his agent. You got to be like, man, look. If Aaron comes here, is he going to sign an extension? How long does he intend to play? What kind of team does he want? What kind of offense? What actual pieces on the team does he like? Does he doesn't like? What does he want? And then you got to have a. Am I going to? What's a fair offer? Like some people offer 3 first-round picks. Me personally, I'm not doing that for 38.
I know it.
But I mean, if I could offer you like
Two first, 2 seconds.
A first, 2/3, a fourth, and maybe a second down the line, and I get back a third for you on the fourth, and another piece. I mean, we can make the deal work, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. But man, that man's 38 years old. I mean, look, Father Time is undefeated. I mean, not unless you're Tom Brady, Father Time is undefeated, and but Father Time will catch him eventually too.
Man, you're right. It's like I look at Rodgers and I say, you know, Green Bay's never gave him the receivers. You know, the Panthers, you know, not top flight, but I'm saying, hey, we got with those two good ones and McCaffrey back there to take that pressure off of them, you know, it would be an exciting, you know, something interesting.
But the thing is, does he even like an offensive line though? Like you can have all the weapons, but if you say down said hut, and 2 seconds later you on the ground, I mean, it don't matter. Like it really doesn't matter.
And I mean, you experienced that a lot.
Look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton got beat up.
Oh
like,
gosh, yeah.
Like I saw something interesting. It was like his last, like outside the Super Bowl year.
Oh yes.
There was a different starter every year at left tackle. After Jordan Gross retired in like 2013.
Yeah.
From 2013 2019 for 7 straight years, a new starter every year at left tackle.
And I remember old time.
And you don't win without continuity. And Carolina, like they haven't addressed that. They haven't addressed that at all. Like you just putting patchwork there. I mean, you're not going to win without a consistent offensive line.
Oh, you know what? Panthers just brought me down. I don't want to do the Panthers anymore. I don't want to.
Hey man, look, man. You got one more losing year, and then I think they'll probably try to put some chips in the middle and go for it. But I'm gonna say this now, man. If Sam Darnold is a flop,
how quickly? Like how? Because I feel like with Darnold's like pass and whatnot, the way Rule is, like I give him 6 games. I can feel like in 6 games, you know what you're gonna get. Because I feel like the pressure's gonna be on. Like I feel like the pressure's gonna be on.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's reasonable at all. I don't think it's reasonable at all.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, since Rule has that long contract, I think they'll give him the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has to outperform Teddy. Like, if you don't outperform Teddy, then that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. I will say that.
But I mean, if this quarterback doesn't work, I can see them drafting one in the first round next year. Probably take Sam Howell to UNC. But my thing is, man, like at this point, you're your 3rd quarterback.
Yeah.
And Tepper's going to start looking at you like, hey, man, you made the call on these last 2 guys, and your clock is not starting. Because Tepper's a guy to me, he likes winning. He likes winning.
Yes.
And he's the guy that has the brass bulls balls,
literally
balls in his dresser. This guy is an aggressive go-getter type guy. He'll give you the room, but it's only going to be so much. Like, you got to produce results. And so I honestly think Rule has another 2-3 years to right the ship. But, man, I'm telling you, man, like, you can't waste the prime of a good player like Christian McCaffrey. So
on quarterback flyers as well. Like, we're not talking about, we went out and got somebody for a 3-year contract, you know, he's 24, 25 or something like that. No, we're talking about little 1-year deal, little 1 year here. You're like, they're making the quarterback decisions that they're one piece away. And it's kind of like, if you want to do that, you should have went out and got Fitzpatrick. I mean, he'll throw you 30 and 30 or something, or go get Jameis He could do that for a flyer.
I mean,
like if he's gonna be exciting for a year.
I mean, interesting enough. Like I wouldn't have mind Jameis last year. Like when they went out, they got Teddy Bridgewater. I'm like, you know that Jameis can throw the ball. He's not afraid.
Yes, he's not afraid.
But you need the right system and people to get up in here. Like the problem with him was here. And so like honestly, man, I think New Orleans has a pretty good year coming up, man. Like I don't see too much slippage. They're gonna have a good year. They're gonna have a good year.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Will you be traveling to the games? Are you do you have any fantasy packages in your mind? Like I would like to go to these sporting events within the next.
I mean, I'm to be honest with you, maybe one or two, but not so much, man. Like look, man, we live. And it'd be too hot, man. A year to go to those games. And man, so, I mean, it's the Panthers. I really don't foresee too much like winning this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I may go to a game or two. Actually, I planned on going down to Jacksonville to go to a game because I went to Clemson. And I went to Clemson, so I want to see Trevor Lawrence play, whatever. I'll do more NBA games, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it funky, man. Like I had the COVID early this year.
Yeah,
it was rough.
Yeah,
and I don't want to experience that again. So I try to stay away from a lot of people as much as possible. I mean, I ain't scared, but like until you had COVID, man, I'm telling you, like it's literally like something that you never felt before. Like my chest was hurting. I'm sitting here, my chest is hurting. I'm sweating bullets. I dropped 30 pounds. And this is within 2 weeks. I dropped 30 pounds. I was about to say 2 weeks. Didn't have. I was sick literally for 2 weeks straight. Didn't have an appetite really. Thank God for my wife. She wound up catching it too, but she had it mild, but I had it kind of severe. Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't like when you have it, man. Like you can't sleep on you got to sleep a certain way. You got to spray down everything. You're kind of confined and quarantined to one area for 2 weeks. It was pretty rough, man. Like I just didn't want to like thoughts go through your head, man. You like, man, like, am I really gonna make it? Man, it's like it's nothing to play with. Like, yeah, I mean, I was never the person that not wear a mask, and I don't even know how I caught it. Like, literally, like one night I woke up in the middle of the night because my body was hurting. Yeah, like I'm like, what? Like, did I run or something? Like when I tell you I had a whole body cramp. Like my wife, we were in the bed, like, and I just fell out. I fell out the bed because my body was just limp. It was like limp. And then like I started coughing. Yeah. Didn't feel well. Headaches. And then eventually I'm like, man, look, I don't think like we were going somewhere, and like I'm like we can't go because I don't feel good and I don't know where this is coming from. And so I had little sweats and stuff. And so I'm like, I think I need to go take a COVID test. Man, I took that COVID test and it came back positive. My wife looked at me and she's like, I know I got it. So let me go take the test. Let me go ahead. By each other, but hers didn't come up positive at the time. It came up negative. She eventually got a positive as I was starting to feel better. Yeah. And so I had to take care of her afterwards. But it worked out like that. But man, like, we did a whole lot of natural herbs, turmeric and all the other stuff. And ginger and all the other stuff. Yeah, man, the natural herbs helped. The lavender, all that other stuff. The coconut water and all the other stuff. Like all that natural stuff helped. But man, it was. I tell you, it was rough, man. I don't wish COVID on nobody. I'm like, man, look. shot or no shot. If you don't want the shot, cool. If you want the shot, cool. I'm not going to judge you either way. But wear your mask, man, and just try to stay away from people because this is something that you want. This is nothing that you want.
My sister's in healthcare. She tells me, so I just be like, hey.
I believe you.
Hey, you good? Oh my goodness. So with that, coming out of that, what was there anything new or that you were like, hey, I'm doing this now, or I don't need to do that anymore, or
yeah, I mean, just kind of. I mean, I did have some like long-term implications, like the breathing. Like we went out about a month, 2 months later, and like I walked around the mall, and like half a lap, I was just like,
yeah,
I'm just now starting to get my breathing back. I still have headaches, whatever, but I mean, just like long-term, man, it's just like. Just kind of being more intentional on what you're doing. I'm like, hey man, like this thing really could have taken me out, and I don't think I've done everything I want to do. So let me push in a little harder to what I have to do to get the results I want to see. And so just being a little more intentional. One thing that I mean, this got me more thankful for my wife. It just reminds you of like, hey man. She risked her health to make sure I was good, and it's just like,
what more can you ask for?
I'm saying, what more can you ask for? You just kind of appreciate things a little more. I mean, it was just an eye opener, man. Like, it's like some people don't have the opportunities that I had as far as work.
Yeah.
If you get COVID, some people like, hey man, you lose 2 weeks of pay, whatever, you can't come into work.
True.
I mean, I was able to get the FMLA to leave and all the other stuff. It showed like people that cared about you. Like, hey man, heard you got this. You okay? You need anything? I mean, my cousin had a shooting gig for some pictures in Charlotte. He's the one that dropped off the water for me. He's like, hey man, I understand you in Kansas. Let me go out. So let me drop it off. Like people drop stuff off, call and check on you. Have stuff delivered to the house, make sure you're okay, man. And it just kind of like, okay, man, people are still good. There's still good people out here.
That is what that makes me smile.
Yeah.
That makes me smile because I'm glad you get that perspective and you have that story to tell because we all know we run into the COVID stories like on a weekly basis and they don't go so well. You know, and you know, people don't have that backing. They don't, or they can't see that abundance. You know, they don't have someone there or something like that. So it's like, you know, it's not all. You know, I am so glad that you got that story for you, man. Because
I had a second cousin last year that caught COVID in June. And he passed away. He's a diabetic, and he passed away, and like. That's what really scared me too, man, because I'm a diabetic as well. And I'm like, oh Lord. Like
come on, man.
You have pre-existing conditions, it kind of exasperates the COVID. And you have to kind of watch out, take your medicines daily, do what you're supposed to do. I mean, we all know people who passed away from COVID. Some are doing stuff not so well. I mean, it's a scary thing, man. Like, I'm just thinking of last January, I was in New Orleans. Me and my wife were in New Orleans visiting my sister. We were down there for the national championship game. And it's just like, it seemed like a lifetime ago. Like, we were in New Orleans, we were in the casino watching the game. Me and my wife, my cousin, and my sister, we sitting in the casino watching the game, having fun with LSU fans. The mask was a foreign concept to us. But like, one crazy thing is, like, we were sitting in bed, just chilling. Warren was like, "You see that thing in China that's happening?" I remember those conversations. I'm like, man, I ain't going over there. And then not knowing, like, it's already here spreading, and like Mardi Gras is like a couple weeks away, and that was a super spreader. And so it's just like it's like a lifetime away, and it's just like when you get to do things now, you get to kind of cherish them because like you don't. Hey man, a worldwide pandemic happened. We never seen this before in our lifetimes, and we're probably never seeing it again.
It was is. It's
You act like it's not going on. People still dying.
It's like, do you ever stop? Because me and my lady, we talk about this every once in a while. I'm like, do you realize like the world is like burning, right? Like those movies that we watched in like the 90s.
Right.
They're you know, kind of accurate. Like all the stuff that we said, you know, no man, you know, woo woo.
That can't happen.
That can't happen. Conspiracy, you know, blah, blah. And it's just like, huh? All right. I guess I'll stop by Walmart on the way home. It's like,
hey man, look.
It's wild.
When the pandemic first hit, it was just like wow, like I got written out of work because I'm a diabetic, so I didn't work for like a month and a half, and then they shipped the computers home, and literally like I was at home like all day, like watching the world shut down. Like if you remember, the only things that were open was Walmart and Lowe's.
Lowe's, yeah. I remember getting like, hey, go get gas on this car and that car, and then we're gonna fill up the case over here, and then let me tell
you a crazy story, man. Like I had gloves on and a mask on, like in March when it first started booming.
Oh yeah.
And I was in the grocery store buying like toilet paper and all the other stuff. I mean, I had an intuition. Like I knew. I was telling people in February at work, like they about to take us out of work. Y'all need to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, like, I mean, people just looking at me weird. Like when I had the mask on and like the gloves, it's like, you taking it too serious. Like they were looking at me. I'm like, you don't realize what's coming. Like
what's coming? They're not playing.
Pay attention. Like people, like people always don't think things can happen, but a lot of times the writing is on the wall. You just got to pay attention. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention. And so that's what I think.
Like you say, if you already see it's coming, then you don't have to react to things anymore. Like you don't have to get all, I don't wanna, or I'm gonna. It's like, you know what? Look, we went through public school. Was it fair? Not even close. But you know what? We learned to do stuff or to observe and be like, you know what? That teacher's gonna be like that all the time. So you know what? I will chill, but I'm gonna cut up when I can. But I'm gonna chill. It's okay. So, like when the pandemic was happening, I was like, look, if we gotta go get this stuff, we gotta go get this stuff. We gotta put this mask on, going there. I ain't worried about it. Put it on. I'll take it off when I come back. Good. I don't know. The fighting it, I left it alone because after a while you could just see it. It's like that mentality. I didn't want the mentality anymore.
Right.
Like I didn't want to see my fellow brother out there that I never even knew and just be like, you know what? I don't like you because you don't have a mask, or I hate you because of something like that, or I'm scared of you or something like that. I don't know. It was getting really weird, man. It's getting really weird.
It's still weird. Like it really is still weird. Like if you sit here and look at these numbers now, like they're getting worse again.
Yeah.
But I mean, and these kids are being hospitalized and stuff like that. But people act like it just went away because of no, it's not. It didn't go away. It's not like it's to a certain point where it's just like you may have to take a vaccine, which I understand. Like I saw this conversation the other day, and people's like jobs, like especially hospital type jobs, may make you take the vaccine. Which if you work in a hospital,
and that was just to say that. Yeah, I understand that. I was a CNA. I was going to go into nursing assistant. Like you have to get all those shots before you get in. Anyway, if you like, they used like no, they already knew the deal. It's like football. You know what you're getting into when you sign up. You already know.
And so so I'm like, okay, if you got to put yourself in the place of a corporation. Like you always have a choice. Like either you do it or you don't. If you don't do it, don't complain. If you don't do it, set up your own company, do your own thing. But like you really can't complain. And so like I was just looking at the people marching Atrium Health against it, and I'm just like, that don't make any sense, because you're dealing with patients that have a compromised immune systems, heart problems, liver problems, and a whole bunch of other problems, who can't take the vaccine, but they want to take it. They may have cancer, but can't take it. But you want to protest because you don't want a vaccine, but you're being selfish by potentially exposing these people to it. Just put the mask on and just go about your day. That's all you have to do. Just go about your day or quit. Like, look, man, if I don't like something, I just don't do it. Just quit.
Indeed. That's that Sagittarius right there. That's that Sagittarius right. See, when you are a creator, you are a creator. You ain't worried about nothing. You're like, man, you kidding me? I'll make another website tomorrow. I'll go get 2 jobs next week.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Like, I'm telling you, man. If you put me on 2 acres of land,
I know it. I already
with
know.
a house by myself, I can make something shake, man.
Yes. And will. And will. Speaking of which, what's next to shake? What's something on the wheels that you're looking at and saying, you know what? That's something I wouldn't mind.
I'm trying to figure this out still, man. I'm at a crossroads. It could go a lot of different ways. December, I'm set to graduate from grad school in December.
Hey, there we go.
And so, I mean, the cohort podcast is starting to kind of take off a little more. People. The under construction thing is still going well. Just kind of like weighing my options. What do I want to do? Do I want to stay in Charlotte? I'm looking at it like, well, if I stay in Charlotte, it's more of an entrepreneurial type thing. But if I go away, it'll be for a job, a different job within the industry I'm trying to get into.
Yes.
And the inner me wants to kind of do the entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah.
But I realize, man, sometimes when you need to grow, you got to be uncomfortable.
Hey.
And so I mean, it's a real possibility I might have to leave. And so we're just trying to figure out the next move, make informed decisions, just trying to get everything straight. I just call this season of life just kind of preparation, just like getting things in order. Like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to be able to do this. I need to have this straight. I mean, and kind of last year, man, funny thing, like we were looking to do something last year, got denied. And like, I was upset. I was really upset. I'm like, man, why didn't this happen? And then a year later, I'm like, okay, now I see why it didn't happen. Because it would have hurt us more if that happened. And so, like, I mean, just kind of trusting your instincts, trusting the process, and just believing that with the continued hard work, things will shake out for you.
That's definite. When was one of those first times, you know, whether it was, you know, beginning in college, high school, where that intuition started to kick in, where you were like, you know what? Okay, I can roll with what I'm believing in myself. You know, people have told me things, and I've learned some things, and you know, but what I'm saying to myself, I'm rolling with.
I'm gonna keep it funky with you. It wasn't until I was an adult, man.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, it's all right too.
About 3 years ago, I started about 2.5, 3 years ago, I started therapy. 3 years ago. And just kind of like just talking about issues, just trying to get life planned out. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the right mind frame where I can just kind of trust my instinct, and just kind of go with what I want to do and what I know. Um, Honestly, man, like I'm not fully there yet. I'm not a finished product.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's perfect, but I mean, and when I was younger, man, I can honestly say I was a follower.
Mm-hmm.
I was a follower. I didn't know myself. I didn't trust myself. And as I've gotten older, just that confidence in who I am, what I do, it's just starting to kind of flourish now. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's like you look at people now that you went to school with, and you see they're further along and doing things that you want to do and stuff like that. But I'm like, if those things would have been given to me when I was younger, it wouldn't have been no good for me.
I already know for myself. Yeah.
And I'm like, now I can kind of trust myself with those certain things to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't imagine making $100,000 at 25 years old. I tell people, man, I would have used those powers for evil. I'm telling you, man. Like I'd have been buck wild. Like, but I mean, it's a maturity thing, man. Where age comes maturity, and so like, just kind of like, I mean, just a lot of self-reflection, just looking at different paths, and disappointments shape you. And like, and one thing I do wish I did earlier was I wish I listened to my wife earlier. Like as a man, he was like, ain't nobody about to tell me what to do. I mean, and fellas, you gotta take a step back. When you're married to somebody, they got your best interest at heart.
Yes.
And like usually when you're married to somebody, they compliment you in some way where you're strong in this, she may be strong in this. Yes. And y'all there to compliment each other and put it together. Like if I listened to my wife a little earlier, man, I've been so much further along. But now I'm listening, I'm learning, and I'm trying to help her out too. And so I mean, one of the greatest things that we did was the cohort thing. Yes. And just to see within a year how much we've grown. Yeah. We started in January. Just to see in a year how much we've grown and just kind of complement each other's vision. It kind of brings us together. It brings us together a little closer, working with each other, kind of feeding off each other with the interview styles and stuff like that. So yes, I mean, it's a blessing in everything, man.
Oh, now I've done therapy as well, and so in my 30s as well. So how long or when did you realize something got to give? I got it. Like what was the point? You were like, hey, something got to give. I got to do something.
Man, I was at a low point. 2018. It was my grandmother just passed away.
Condolences.
Yeah,
Rest in power. Rest in power.
We were actually in Miami, and then like I woke up that morning, and I'm like, it was our anniversary too. It was our wedding anniversary, like that weekend. And so like, that morning, like you feel it in your spirit. I'm like, something is off, and I just had a bad attitude, and I just tried to chug through, take the pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, like we walked through a little place. I told my wife, look, man, I don't feel right. Let's go back to the hotel, take a nap. Let me regroup. Yeah. And I got a call from my sister, man, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And then like, I didn't really talk to her like that for the past couple of months. And that was a guilt feeling, like a guilty type feeling. She just had surgery, and I was supposed to call her, but in the midst of everything going on, packing, leaving work, doing this, doing that, I realized like I forgot to call her. Yeah. And my dad was like, "You need to call her." I'm like, I will. I'll call her and check on her because she had surgery. And then that happened. Some stuff with work happened. My cousin had a child, and the child passed away a couple of days
What a season.
It was a season. And so I went by his house and stuff like that. And like, it started to strain my marriage too. I found myself like sleeping in my man cave. We don't even know what's going on. And then like, I remember New Year's night, I had me a bottle I was drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not a drinker. So me to drink like that, for me just to drink and just like that. And then like, I started school and school was rough because I wasn't in the right mind frame.
Yeah.
And my wife just like, hey man, you need just some things you need to do. I think we're drifting away and you're drifting away. And she gave me an ultimatum, man, but I knew I needed to do it anyways.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best decisions I did. Like, it just kind of got me on the right path to learn how to talk things through. Eventually I took some time to myself off of work, just to kind of refresh, regroup.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the best things I did. And I mean, I stepped away this year from it, but I might go back and just to look, tune up, to talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was one of the best things I did, man. Just to kind of like sometimes just to lay it all out there and just talk to people and just get their perspectives and think about things you wouldn't have normally thought of.
I've gone back to some years and just been like, oh, that's why I
like that.
Do that. Yeah. Like, I'll give you one example real quick. On Facebook, they have the Facebook memories and whatnot.
Yeah.
There are times, many times, I can go back through the Facebook memories and I can see February 22nd, 2017, 2015, 2012, 2011, 2010, and they all have the same type of message all the way every single year. And those are the things I figured out through therapy. It's like, why am I this way then if I'm not even trying to be like that? Right. Like why am I mad? I shouldn't be mad at this person. I don't even know who they are. Or you learn those triggers that right. And those triggers, man, it takes something because you really have to accept that, oh, I'm pulling the trigger. It's not just everybody else, but I'm pulling the trigger. Me? No, I didn't pull that trigger. It couldn't have been me. There's no way.
I mean, and then one thing, man, the Facebook, look, man, them Facebook members get you looking back at yourself. It's like, man,
I say, what was I doing?
He's like, I was really like that. Let me go ahead and delete this, man. Let me go ahead and delete this. I'm like, what was I thinking? Who was I talking about? Like,
who was I talking to? Who was I talking
to? But it's also cool because you get to see your growth.
Yes.
You get to see your growth after those changes have been made. And like, sometimes they're a reminder like, hey man, this is where you came from, bro. This is where you at now. Yeah. Don't go back to that. Do not go back.
Oh my gosh. Those Facebook memories get me every time. Oh my goodness.
Man.
But hey, you just being open about it is, I would say for myself, is one thing that I never even thought I was even gonna do. I was just like, there's if you ask me was I open, I'd be like, yeah, I am. Okay, and all right. That was me. And like you say, being able to step away from things, being okay with those things, right, and actually figuring yourself out and knowing that it's all right. You're gonna keep figuring yourself out. I mean, I still am as well. So
man, I live by this, man. Like every other year, man. Like you take an assessment of yourself every other year. You change. Like like you're a married guy, man. Like your wife isn't the same woman 5-10 years ago she is now. No. And and that's the beauty of things. We all evolve. We all change, and we always have to learn something new about ourselves or our spouse. I mean, you got to. It's a beautiful thing. It keeps you intrigued, discovering new things and stuff like that.
Yes, and I will definitely say I learned more things about her when I just fall back Whenever I can just fall back, it's like, oh, look at that. Yes. So, oh man. So about what's your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about being in a relationship? Like marriage? Like what like because we all grow up and we all hear all the jokes and all the the bad stuff and everybody talking about, oh, you can't do this, can't do that. Some fun stuff. What's some fun stuff for you? You be like, yeah, man.
I mean, one thing that's fun to me, man, is just consistency. Like having that consistent partner. Like if I go to the store, she comes to the store with me. Like if I do this, she coming with me. Like it's really a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I mean, there's things I told her that I never told people before. Or
Hey,
there's things she knows about me that nobody else knows.
yes.
And like
that's beautiful right there.
That's just one of the best things ever. And it's just like it's I understand people don't like marriage no more. I mean look, man, it's after that wedding, it's truly work. I mean, you're taking two people who grew up totally different, have different views and philosophies on everything, and you're putting them together and go work, be productive.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly work. I mean, it's legit ups and downs. Some days you be like, I don't like this person, or I don't like you. You don't like me. But what we gonna eat tonight?
I know. There's that understanding right there. I feel like that's the bridge of understanding of, you know what? Why are you doing this? Okay, you want a spoon? Because I got 2 spoons over here. You want a spoon too? All right. Okay. But why? Why you do that? Why'd you do that? You knew you did that. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Okay, that's all right.
What you trying to tell me?
I know what. Like, are you? Tell me, please. Write it down. Text it, something, because I don't know.
And then like you look at the communication style between men and women, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like if like we're still learning this every day. Like we like men and women communicate totally different. Like women expect you to kind of like feel stuff and like do stuff. Like guys, we don't remember stuff. We just do it. And it's just like, why'd you do it? I don't know. It's just like it's funny, interesting, man. But it's an interesting dynamic that kind of complicates things, but it kind of complements each other as well. So, I mean,
yes,
she's the person that has to be organized, this and this and this. I'm the, hey man, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We gonna wing it. Let's just have fun. I mean, and that job's crazy, but like she'll go along with it, and I go along with her. I mean, it's about give and take.
Hey, same here. I'm laid back. She a Virgo, so she like things organized.
Oh,
so that
organized to a T,
like, to a TT. So, and I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Oh, it'll be all right. Don't even worry about it. That don't even worry about the trigger. I forget. I forget that that's.
Man, I'm forgetting. Look, if you tell me something, I'm doing something, I'm gonna forget in a heartbeat. I have to remind you 35. I'm like, look, man, that's just how that's just how I am. Like, if you constantly tell me, it'll get done. But I'm not gonna, like, I'm really trying to change that, man. I mean, I understand how sometimes it can be annoying, so I'm really trying to change it. Yeah. So I'm trying to get better each day, man. But I mean, it's interesting, 2 people coming in together being one.
Learning those attributes, because I say here we are, so different, and yet those differences, like you say, are the complement, because that supports that balance.
Right.
Because if she's organized and she gets unorganized, she's gonna have somebody who can tell her, oh, don't even worry about it. It's gonna be all right. So all you gotta do is put that, Yeah, you just put that thing over there. You slide that over there and let that thing right there. Oh man, don't even worry about that.
I'll be like, did you die today? You gonna be all right? Did we die? Did all the money in our bank account go away? I mean, I know that annoys me, and I do it sometimes because it annoys her. But I mean, it's just like with me. Like, I am very unorganized. Like, I'm kind of a last minute person sometimes. I just take it easy. Like, I work best under pressure. But I mean, she gets on me and I get it done, and I'm like, I could have done this earlier.
I know that
it's been better. Like
that did work.
I appreciate that.
Hey, she has given me some organization tips, and I'm just like,
it's so hard though sometimes.
I'm like, what do you? I'm like, I don't know. You want to do that 2 days in a row? Okay, that's. I just thought we was gonna do it once. I thought this was a one time.
You want me writing a journal? A journal?
Now, see, that's the thing. That me doing podcasts is literally through therapy. Like, this is me staying consistent.
Right.
Having a consistent part happening daily, weekly, every other day, something like that. Because I'm just like, even my journaling, I'd be like, oh man, I didn't do 3 straight days. And then I'm like, I'll catch back up with it. And just saying things like that. It'll be a week. The next thing you know, it's a week and a half. And then I'm like, oh, here I go again. But, that learned lesson every day, just knowing that you can get back. It's okay. It's all right. It ain't gonna take too long. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Learning how to be intentional. Hey, man. Look, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I really do appreciate it, man.
Oh, Rodney. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming on, man. You really, man. You blessed the whole thing. You really did.
Problem, man. I appreciate you.
You really did. You really did,
your
man.
Platform, bro.
And you know what? Enjoy that mini vacation tomorrow.
All right, we'll do, man.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, man. Peace out, bro.